You are the first white guest.
That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard.
I was much more of a sporty kid than like a theater kid. I am repping my...
How dare you?
Like I hit puberty later than everybody, so like I kind of use being funny as like a crutch, I guess.
You're a bitch.
Do you feel like a nervousness to be funny?
I never feel like people are assuming that I have to be on all the time, or that like I'm the same person that they see on I guess on their screen or whatever.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh, I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how?
My voice is really low today. I woke up, I took a COVID test because I don't think it came back negative, but I woke up this morning and my voice is not usually this low, but it's very low. I kind of like it. But it also it is
manly.
Yeah. No, it is very manly. It's actually it's helping the manly ego grow a little bit, but yeah, I think I'm getting sick.
The facial hair.
Yeah, the facial hair, I'm really trying to push with that one. Gonna need to shave it soon though, because it just like it depends on the way the light hits it. It's very rarely good, and right now I would categorize it as poor. Yeah, we're all. You know what? It's all right.
I'm trying to add because I think I started this about a year ago, but yet this is only I think the 5th time I've done this because you know it's just hard getting guests and stuff. So I'm really out of practice.
I get it, man.
And but I'm trying to segments, right? So first thing I did is I went onto the interweb, and I wanted to see what the general factoids about you were.
Okay.
I'm gonna list them off to you. I've already read them. I'm pretty sure at most maybe one of these 3 things are true.
Yep.
But first thing, nice and simple. Favorite television show, is that indeed Family Guy, or was that completely fabricated?
Family.
It is.
No, that is a factual thing. I've watched Family Guy since I was like 14. I had to take like spells like away from Family Guy because like I would just watch it so much and I just wouldn't watch any other shows. But like I actually, funny enough, I only started watching it again. Like I don't know. I started from scratch, like from the first season again for the first time. Since like probably 4 years ago, but I started again because I just like I just would be able to recite every single episode, so I would have to like stop and like just take a break so I could forget it all.
Yeah.
And now it's all coming back again, but I don't know. I just love it. It just makes me so happy. Like I'll just watch it before I go to bed, and it's just like the best thing. I just really, like it's the one show that just never fails to just make me laugh a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode of Family Guy. If I'm
Really?
I've probably seen it in passing, like it's been on type thing. But I
how
I don't know.
How old are you?
21.
You're 21. Okay, well, yeah. No, I don't know. I guess it's like kind of like towards the end, I guess, because I think I was probably the last, like, I'm 24 and almost 25, so I was probably like the last generation of like 14-year-old that like Family Guy was directing at. But for some reason, it stuck with me as still one of my favorite shows. But yeah, no, I don't know. It was like definitely like the classic, like Family Guy. Like definitely knew they were playing to 14-year-olds, and they stuck with it. But I don't know. I really like it. Really got me into like musicals and stuff like that too, which is such a weird thing because it's such a. I just love how diverse the show is in terms of like just how it integrates music and like it just classes up the whole thing. Like when they have like a live, like they record it like with a live orchestra. I don't know. It's just a really cool show.
Like theater production.
Yeah. Like it's really, I don't know. Like the stories are like, I don't know. I feel like people have criticized the like storytelling aspect of it because it's not like it just works so much on jokes and so much on like different like little cutaways, whereas like a show like The Simpsons or South Park is very like, I don't know. It's very story oriented, and like. I don't know, and that they'd obviously do a very good job of that, but I don't like the criticism against Family Guy of like, oh, this is for 14-year-olds because it's just joke after joke, and it's just, I mean, obviously there's a lot of jokes in there now because it started in like 1999, so there's a lot of jokes in there now that would really be like, oh shit, maybe don't say that, but I mean, it came out in 2003, like it's like I don't know, so it's But I don't know. I really enjoy it.
I got the next one I got here is I'm like almost 100% this isn't true. It says height 5'6".
No, that's not true. I said that in a video. I said that in a video as a joke, and I think people. I don't know if me and my buddy were actually. He looked up my name as a joke and then saw that, and then he we were talking about we were trying to discuss whether or not someone put that there ironically, and he was thinking I was thinking they did, and then he was thinking they didn't. But I like it as a nice meme though that I don't know, people might think I'm 5'6", but no, I'm I don't know, 6'2".
Yeah.
I'm a tall drink of water.
So initially, so did you find that online you was 5'6", or did you say 5'6", which prompted this person to write your 5'6"?
No, that I never really. I think I've addressed it actually in a video, a Q&A video previously. Someone's asked if I'm tall, because I don't know. I'm only ever alone in my videos for the most part. So people only really judge me next to trees. And well, he would be a really small tree, but they don't know how big of a person I am. You know what I mean? So it's just
yeah.
I don't know. So I think I've addressed it before, but then I said it in it was actually a pretty recent video, less than a year ago, that I made a video where I just as a joke said that I was 5'6", and then I guess people just ran with that and posted that on some sort of thing, some forum of some sort.
I think I'm starting to. Yeah, I think I'm starting to see what's happening. Basically, I went on. This is the first website I found. You're saying facts, and 5 minutes before you said ready when you are, I was okay, let me watch this Q&A. But I didn't finish it because then you messaged and I jumped on. So I'm assuming most of these things are probably from that Q&A that I haven't watched yet. It says your blood type O negative, which I don't know why that'd be public information.
I think that I said that in a Q&A. I think that's why. I think that I said that in some video. It might not have been a Q&A. I don't even know what it was. It might have been that same video where I said that I was 5'6". Well, regardless, I don't even know if it's fully true that it's O negative. I think it is. I think I remember having blood drawn and them saying it's O negative or O positive. You know what? I said O negative because it sounds cooler, because it's the universal donor thing. But I don't know what the... I'm being honest. I don't know. I think it's O negative.
Next, I thought maybe I was gonna try my best to find out some facts about you that you don't already know about yourself.
I really like that. I'm excited.
But honestly, it wasn't very easy, and I feel like you might know these. And the third one I got to, I honestly was just. It's not even a fact, really. So, do you know any famous people you share a birthday with, first of all?
I don't think there's anyone super famous. I remember searching that up when I was a kid, and I remember there was nobody that I knew that was famous. I don't know. There might be there's probably a few TikTokers now. I mean, there's a lot more famous people that have come into the woodwork in the last couple of years that are probably sharing a birthday with. But I don't know. You know what, actually? I think Chase Hudson, the TikTok guy who was popular 2 years ago, I think he shares the same... He's probably still popular. Does he share the same birthday as me?
That is one of them, yeah. He is number one on famous birthdays, apparently. Well, I was struggling, you see. I went on the website and I was scrolling for a while. There wasn't many people. I even opted into looking at famous people who died on your birthday, and that wasn't giving me much more. But are you aware of tennis?
Tennis?
Yeah, tennis. British tennis player Andy Murray.
Andy Murray! I didn't know Andy Murray and I shared the same birthday. This is big.
Yeah.
Me and Ando.
This is
me and
news.
Ando Murray.
I'm not showing his blood type.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's massive.
Yeah.
So that's what I found there. Fact number 2, I thought, what else could I find out that maybe you just out of no interest have searched yourself? Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to find facts.
Yeah.
Which was, I looked into your last name, which hopefully I pronounced right, Colborn?
Yep.
Colborn?
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
And I wanted to try and find the origins of the name.
Okay. I don't know the origins of it, so I'm interested.
It says Anglo-Saxon's origins from from a little village, Colbo, which was a township in Yorkshire, England. So, you know,
That sounds right.
England here.
A bit of
right, yeah.
It says connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It says coal, the first part meaning cool, yeah, and the last part meaning stream. So together that means cold stream. Your last name.
I did not know
meaning
that.
a dweller near a cold stream.
I did not know that.
So,
but that is interesting because
right.
well, I will say I am from and you probably if in small research would have found that I'm from Newfoundland, which is it was the last province in Canada to join Canada. I guess it joined in 1949. Before that, it was a colony of England, and so there's lots of English folk here. And there's lots of, I don't really have a Newfoundland accent, but a lot of people here do sound like they're from, I guess, Old England or Ireland when they have a thick Newfoundland accent. And so, yeah, so I can see the connection there. There's a lot of, actually, I was just thinking about this morning. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to share this because it involves the street names of which I live on, but they're very...
right.
But my street and the street over and the street surrounding it and the street that goes up and around are all very British, like royal names. I won't say them because that's a dox. But if I...
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a little tidbit there that I was going to share, but I won't. Sorry.
And my third one, now I'm reading it back, I'm just ashamed I even wrote it. It's not even a fact about you,
I want to hear it.
It's just a fact about this podcast. And you are the first white guest I've had, just by chance, on this podcast. Technically a fact.
I am repping my... repping my breath. I'll tell you what, Harrison. Us white guys have just been we just can never catch a break. So I'm really glad to be just a front runner for my people. That's good news.
It's huge news, actually.
This is good. I'm glad. That's good. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And we've been trying. You know,
we've been trying. You couldn't find them. You know, it's so hard to find them out there these days.
I am a huge fan of the Canadian accent because I can't quite put my finger on what's different about the American one, but there is something different. And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's up there for me with sort of South Africa, Australia. They're all great.
I love South African accent. It's good stuff. Yeah. No, I don't know. I guess the generic Canadian accent and the generic American accent are pretty similar. I don't know. I feel like the stereotypical Canadian accent is very like, they'll say things like a boot, like instead of about, but like I don't say, I say about.
Yeah.
And like I get some comments sometimes that say like, oh, you could tell he was Canadian because of the way he said about. And I was like, I say about like an American would for the most part. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. There's some words like it though. Like I'll say like car, like people like Americans say car, and I would just say car, like I'm driving my car, like it's a pretty, I don't know, it's like I don't know, it's just
something's going on there.
Small things, yeah. Accents, hey. Yeah,
crazy. You've done segue, very good British accent actually.
Thank you.
Tom Scott video.
Yeah, I haven't practiced a whole lot. And so I would go, but go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish. I just cut you off because I'm a jerk. But I also can't see you still. You're still frozen on my screen, so it's hard to predict when you're stopped speaking.
Yeah, same. Like, I can't see anything. My whole screen is black, so it's a complete guess. I'm doing it by ear.
Okay.
But this is so botched.
No, dude, it's all good.
Yeah, Tom Scott. Tom Scott. Yeah, I watched that video. And I heard you say, I think, because I listened to another podcast you did. I think it was called have it down here somewhere. Totally Tubular, I think it was called.
Yep.
Yep. And you were saying in it that you didn't think it was that good, but everyone was saying it was really good. But I thought it was really good, basically.
Oh, thanks, man. No, I where was, because are you familiar with Tom Scott at all? Do you watch any of his stuff?
Yeah, I've been down like when you go down rabbit holes where you just let the next one play by itself and you just keep watching them.
Yeah, everyone's been through a Tom Scott rabbit hole. If you're not a Tom Scott fan, you've been through one of his rabbit holes for sure. But he's from God, I forget actually where he's from. He's from like the north a little bit. And I remember I just looked up an accent, and like I obviously played off of his accent when I was trying to like practice it as well. But I mostly played off of this video of this like woman, this like 50-year-old woman, just like saying the way that she would say things, and like it was from the same town that he was from, so I just tried to go off of that. And I kind of forget, but like I also like, I don't know, my voice is kind of hurting right now, so I don't know if I can try to do it. But I don't know, I just really practice that a lot. But I also like, even like I made a bloopers video recently too, where you can see me actually do it. It's like I listened to his voice like when I was like in the middle of recording, just to try to like hear it. And I don't know, I find it easier to do once like I could hear it. Like I have a bad habit for like if I'm talking to someone who's like British or Australian or something, to like accidentally imitate their accent back to them. So sorry if I do that while you're here. But yeah, so like I don't know, that was like I guess a blessing that I had that, and I used to do that. But yeah, no, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just find accents quite interesting, but I'm not trying to. I fear that I'm going to sort of tangent on them too long. I don't know if anyone's interested in accents that much.
No, man. Yeah, no, it's up to you.
I thought it was pretty good. And like, this is going to sound like a dumb question, but does it sound like I have a strong accent to you?
Like yes and no, but like also like I guess it's hard to say. Like as someone who is like Canadian, whenever I hear a British accent, I would just think like that's a British accent. I wouldn't be able to place you anywhere in the UK. Like I don't know where in the UK you're from. I know you're probably not Scottish, and you sound sound English to me. Does that make sense? Like where are you from?
London.
Okay, yeah, like that would have been my guess, but like I really don't know. Like I would have had no idea. Like I guess like the only other one I know, I think, is Paul McCartney from Liverpool. I think because like that's another one that I've done once as well. Like, you know, man, like it's just like whatever, man, right? Like it's just like he's got that weird sort of like.
Yeah, I think the Beatles. Yeah, I think they would.
Yeah, I think so too. But like, so yeah, whenever like I don't know, it's just like So I guess I would say no, it doesn't sound like you have a strong accent, but like I guess it would be hard to distinguish between a strong and a weak accent. Whereas like, as an example, I guess like from here, like when people hear me speak and that are Canadian or from Newfoundland, they will like, you don't have a very strong Newfoundland accent at all, or you don't have a very strong Canadian accent at all. But like if someone from elsewhere were to hear me speak, like say, okay, as an example, if I'm talking to a friend from Newfoundland, they know that I don't have a very strong Newfoundland accent. But if I'm talking to a friend from Toronto who knows of Newfoundland accents and hears me speak, like, oh my God, you're from Newfoundland, you have a very strong Newfoundland accent. Like, they just don't, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on where you're from, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Well, do you think that you have a strong accent? Like, or would you be a pretty mild accent comparatively?
I mean, I think to maybe American ears, it's not that strong, because to their ears, what's stronger is like, I like Tom Holland, like I'm Spider-Man. For example, there's a lot of like, I think just by chance, Canadian, I guess, I'm not sure if they're comedians, but I think they are, like YouTube type people, like Curtis Connor.
Yeah, I know Curtis Connor, yeah. I don't know him personally, but I know of him.
His, like, Jacob Sharp, Dean Hebscher, like his friends. And then I'm not sure if this guy's Canadian, but I saw you do a video of him. And like, I'm not gonna get his last name right. I'm just gonna say Jack, and hopefully you can help me out.
Jack Innanen?
Yeah.
No, Jack's one of my good friends. Yeah, he's from just outside of Toronto, like an hour and a half outside of Toronto.
Yeah, so I guess like what you were saying, how you can't hear a difference. I guess I can't really hear a difference either. Like, because between you two, I was thinking, oh yeah, this is pretty similar.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense though, because like, but he would say to me that like he would say that I would like that I have a decently strong, not decently strong, but he would know that I would be from like Newfoundland or like from somewhere over in Eastern Canada, I guess. Whereas like with him, I'm just like, I wouldn't be able to place him. I would just know that he's from like Ontario. Like I guess, and here's another thing actually, is that he would say things like A, like E, like the classic Canadian like A, like the E. Like I say that a lot as well, but like he would say that a lot more than I would. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I get that. I feel you. I feel you there.
First video of yours I actually saw was if you had to guess, what video do you think it would have been? Like, what's the most?
Can I ask when you would have seen it?
Oh,
if you remember. You know what? I don't even need to know. I'll guess.
It would have been. Okay.
I'm gonna guess that it was the every inspirational video. That seems to be the answer of a lot of people.
It was not, but the reason I asked you is because I thought you would say that.
Okay, interesting.
Because that is a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, I don't know how long after it came out that I saw it, but it was the geography video, like
really?
For adults. I don't know how old that one. Yeah, it just came up on my recommended, and at the time, it's gonna sound like an insult. At the time, when I clicked onto your channel, I was disappointed because I was expecting more geography content.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is great fun geography lessons that I'm gonna be able to watch now, just like binge a bunch. And it wasn't that. Then I think I then went away from the channel for a while, and then I got the inspirational one come back into my feed, I think, and then that's how I started to watch consistently.
Yeah, I've actually had a few people say that the first one they've seen from me was the basic geography one, which like I never would have thought, like, you know, because like I don't know, I guess it did like relatively well comparatively on the channel, but like I don't know, I guess when at the start I always got like the counting to 100 in French video was like always a popular one with people, and then the every inspirational or the Tom Scott one. But yeah, no, I've I don't know, just randomly I've gotten a few of the basic geography for adults, which is interesting. But no, cool. I would never get. But I guess I don't know. I guess a lot of geography folk, because I'm a pretty big like geography guy, whatever that means. I don't know. I'm into geography stuff. Like I just finished recording an episode of I do GeoGuessr. I play GeoGuessr on Patreon every month.
Okay,
and have you played GeoGuessr, by the way?
I have, yes, I'm terrible.
Oh man, GeoGuessr is awesome. I strongly recommend playing that more often. It is sick. Anyway,
I watch people play it more than I've played, I think.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. I do that a lot too. But yeah, no, I love that. But it's yeah, so it's interesting. I guess it means though that you're a geography buff. So you've been around geography. You've watched some geography videos, and then we're recommended that.
I guess so. I mean, I think there's a channel basically. I can't remember. I think it's called Real Life Law or something.
Okay, yeah.
And they would. I was watching a bunch of videos about like how countries are way smaller or bigger than you think they are, and how maps are wrong and stuff. I was watching a bunch of videos like that, but I actually hate geography. I took geography and I hated it. But for some reason, in YouTube video form, I just can't get enough.
Yeah. That's interesting. That is an interesting
Same with
passion.
space and stuff.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that though. I don't know, like it is like, yeah, I guess I'm kind of like that in some ways. Like I don't really care about chemistry. Like I remember hating that when I'd had to do it in school, but like whenever I come across a video that's like chemistry and someone else is doing all the hard work for it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll give chemistry a chance here today. But then like if I ever had to do it myself, I'd want to put a bullet in my leg. But like, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I feel you, Harrison.
Thank you, Matthew. Was you good at school? Was you a bit of a smarty guy?
No, I'm an idiot. No, I'm kidding. I was all right. I did well. But I did like just well enough to say that I did well. How do I put this? I'm very glad I didn't do better, because if I did like a little bit better, I would have been considered like pretty darn smart and would have had to pursue something academic in university. And well, I mean, I went to university and I graduated with a degree in psychology, but like I never really had plans to finish it. Like it was never something I wanted to pursue afterward. And so like I think that if I was doing a little bit better in school, like in high school and then in university after that, like I feel like I would have felt obligated to do something academic, and I'm very glad that I never felt the obligation to do something academic, because I always felt that I was like, I don't know, I'd have a better chance at something like this, which is, I mean, I was, you know, I guess technically right about that. So, I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see in a couple of years' time when I disappear from the public eye and I have to go into something like academia. No, but yeah, no, I mean, I did okay. How about you? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
I guess okay. The thing is, like, I'm realizing there's no other way to describe it apart from okay, because like the education systems probably don't match up in any way, so it just would be like so hard to explain. But I guess okay is sort of the easiest way.
It's a very vague.
Wasn't bad, wasn't good.
Yeah, that's a good way. Not concerning, but also not great. Yes, I like that. It's a good way to be.
It was I dropped out twice because, you know, bit boring.
Dropped out of like, how old were you? Like, what is this? I guess because I know that like Britain has like like when you say college, but like people go to college in Britain when they're like 16, but it's also like not like what college is in America or Canada.
Yeah, college is not college. College is still school.
It's so interesting. Like, you know what? Let's. Okay, no.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, you go to like university, which is college, I guess, when you're like 18. That's when you're done with normal school. Yeah. And then like college / sixth form, which is the same thing. It's just what you do for the last 2 years before you go to actual university / college.
Okay.
So I dropped out in that period between 16 and 18.
Okay. I understand. Is that like a thing? Like, is that a common thing? Like, how often are folks dropping out between like 16 and 18?
I don't know if it's like this in all schools, but ours is kind of like, it's probably quite common actually, because on my course, I would say only 25% of the people finished it, either because they got like kicked out or because they dropped out.
Interesting.
Because like the schools all want to boast being like having like 100% success rate when it comes to the grades and stuff. So if they see someone who's clearly not going to pass, they'll kick them out to keep the 100% success rate, because then it's technically true.
Interesting. That's really interesting, because here, I don't know if you're familiar with the Canadian American school system, but it's basically like if you're in school, like you're going to finish it until you're done the 12th grade, and then like then you can decide after if you want to go to university or college or to like do a trade or something like that. But it's basically like if you're in school, like you're going to finish it no matter what you're doing. Like no matter how you're doing, like I don't know. No, like I mean people do drop out, but it's very rare that like someone will drop out and do something else unless they have like something else lined up. Also, I will say that there is less than a minute on the Zoom meeting, so if you want to stop and then restart, we can do that.
Yeah, I was about to say
Okay.
Okay, cool. What should I do? I'll just
just send me another message. Yeah. Hey Harrison, I'm waiting for you to send me a message. No rush. You didn't send it yet. That's okay. I don't know what you'll do with this part of the video. Do you like my map in the background? Do you like my brown Timberland wallet? 20 Polish zloty. Or zloty. I was in Poland earlier the year, in November. What else do we got here? We got some Canadian money. Look at the Queen. Look at your darling Queen on the back there. Oh, she's right here. Look at that old bag. Unrippable money. And it's unrippable. And there was rumors going around that if you scratched this maple leaf, that it smelled like maple syrup. And I don't think that was ever true. I got bills. Did you send me another message? Let's find out here real quick. Nope, but that's okay. Did you send me another one, mate?
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, back again.
Harrison, we're back, and the video is rolling.
Is this a personal question? Do you live on your own?
I don't know. I did. Myself and my girlfriend were living across the country for 6 months a year ago. But then we moved home, and so like since like COVID started to ramp up here again, and so I was like, I just like to be closer to family, and so now I'm home in my hometown and living with mom and dad, living with ma and pa, and like my grandparents still live here. And so like I don't know. I mean, I could technically financially live on my own, I guess, but I would like I don't know. I like my mom and dad a lot, and they like me a lot. So like I don't know. We're having fun. Like they have no trouble housing me, and so like I don't know why I would just like piss money away into like renting an apartment when I could just live here. I don't know. Like I'm having a good. I mean, the only like negative is like just external like just shit from other people being like, you used to live with your mom and dad and you're 24 and you have a job, and it's like, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, like it's a tough time. Like rent around here is just like so insanely stupid. Like, and this is not a great like, it's not like we're not in a big city or anything. Like it's a very small town, but it's like still just disgustingly high rent. So it's I don't know, just living with ma and pa, I guess, just to see how that goes. How about you? Sorry, I keep rambling.
Half and half. I mean, what I was gonna say to you just then is people saying like, oh, you still live with your parents and you have a job. Surely that's better than living with your parents and not having a job. Like
it is, yeah.
That's the only bad. So is this your job, by the way, or do you have like?
Yes, it is. No, it is, yeah. So I when I started, like I finished university in like middle of 2019, and then at the start of 2020, I just decided I was going to do this full time for like 2 years and see if it works out. And then like the goal I had in mind was to have like 100,000 subscribers at the end of those 2 years, and if I did, then I'd keep going. And like I reached that amount in like 9 months, and so I was like, guess we'll keep going. And then so I've been full time like for the foreseeable future ever since then. And so yeah.
Do you reckon it was one of those things where you said 100, but if you got to the year and it was like 90, you'd still go anyway?
Yeah, I mean, like it basically was pretty arbitrary, but it was like it was more so just like I want to know that enough people are watching so that like I know that I have something here. You know what I mean? Like to a point where like if really nobody was watching, then I would be like, okay, well then obviously I'm doing something wrong. This isn't going to work out. You know what I mean? Like I have to really change up what I'm doing, or else, you know, it's just not going to work. And it was kind of like a delusion test, I guess, to see if I was like really, I don't know, because I never really thought that it would be like, let me think. I guess I never really like, I was never like, this is impossible. I was never like, this is definitely going to happen. But I always thought that it was like, obvious, that it was possible. And so I was like, I might as well give it a go, give it a shot. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, well, that's, you know, I mean, I didn't expect anything really. It was kind of just like when it, you know, if nothing, I had nothing to lose. Like if it didn't work out, oh well, I'll do something else. But if it did, then great. And it did, so great. Here we are.
And your question, I kind of half and half moved out, kind of. Like you said, though, like pissing money away is like the perfect sort of description of what it is. But yeah, like, do you have like like canals in Canada?
Do we have what? Sorry.
Canals like they do in like Amsterdam and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like very rare, like not where I am, but there are in cities like Ottawa and I think Montreal, and like I don't know, there's a lot of places that are like on a river that like kind of where a canal, I guess, kind of goes through. But I did want to say that like because you mentioned that you like half moved out, like I also did a thing like when my girlfriend and I moved out for like 6 months, like that was also great, like it was a great time, and so like. Part of me is like moving out would also be like very beneficial to like build character and stuff, but also like I experienced that and I was like, okay, this is fine, but like I don't need this to like grow as a person right now. I think a better choice for me at the time would be like, so I'm not against the whole like the decision of moving out. Like I know that that's a good thing for a lot of people despite the financial hardship. But yeah. But anyway, sorry. Back to canals. Yes, there are some, but not as many as in like I guess the UK or in the Netherlands.
I originally wanted to do that, and then I saw how much like rent and stuff was, and was like, that's not happening. So then I had to so I ended up buying like a boat basically instead as an alternative.
You did? You bought a boat?
Yeah, like a
No, I don't know.
I don't really know what they're called.
I'm asking.
I just keep saying, you know.
No, I don't at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. But no, I'm excited.
Because that's what I was asking if you had like canals in Canada, because again it's just more of like a thing. But they just have like canals that go through London, and then people have like little houseboats that are on the canals that they live on, which are tiny, but you don't have to pay rent or anything. Yeah, so like it's sort of like, I guess the whole idea is that you don't pay rent, but you have to buy something out and out, but then over time you'll make your money back because you're not paying rent and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, well, that's interesting. Like, how big is the boat? Like, are you on the boat right now?
Yeah, but no, right now. Honestly, it's not very big. It's
okay.
It's probably about the size of this room, maybe a little bit bigger.
Okay.
But yeah,
like, do you have like basic amenity? Like, do you got like a shitter? Like, do you have like a kitchen? Like, in a bed? Like, how does that? I'm genuinely, I didn't know this about London. I didn't know this about London folk.
Yeah, I mean, I could send you a photo afterwards maybe, but it's just like,
I would love that.
How do I describe it? Yeah, you have like, have you seen those YouTube videos, like those van life videos people make where they're just like, oh, you get to live on the road and you get to move around and your motor home is your home or whatever. It's kind of like that, but you can't go wherever you want because water doesn't go everywhere. You can go to set places and that's it.
Yeah.
But you kind of get
go
the perk
from
of
West London to East. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and well, to be fair, you can. So, I bought mine. It was sort of north, and I had to bring it down to London, which was just hell, to be honest.
Okay. Nice.
It's because I'm not. It's kind of for people who are kind of about that life, which I'm not. But I done it out of sort of. I just thought it would financially be a smart idea, a smart move, so I went for that option.
Well, that's a good decision then. You made a wise choice. It seems like, but like,
Well, hopefully it could all go wrong, and I could end up,
Yeah, you could end up drowning. But like, have you ever like?
I guess I could let you choose.
Sure.
I'll say two vague words, and then I'll let you pick. First one being sports.
Okay.
And the second one.
Yep.
What should I say? Fame.
Definitely sports.
Yeah. Okay, sports.
Yeah.
So you seem to love that hockey, that ice hockey.
I'm a big fan.
Big old fan, and
yes.
I'm assuming golf and baseball as well.
Yes, I do also love golf and baseball. Yes.
And I also love sports, but these are three sports I have never watched, played, know anything about.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like
what?
Okay. I mean, golf is the only one I'd even probably have an opportunity to play because it's like there's probably golf courses around. But I mean, ice hockey is non-existent, and similar with baseball, they're not really things that are played around here.
Yeah. Do you play? I guess cricket. I guess would be the. Do you have cricket? Do you play cricket?
We have cricket, but I literally know no one who plays that.
Okay. What are your sports?
Well, I mean, football, soccer. I guess that's the big one.
Soccer. That was good. That was a good accent. I like that.
Yeah, that's like the main one.
That was good.
Yeah, I thought dash a little one in there. Just try and.
Yeah, that was good. Football. Yeah, I play football. Yeah. I had to give it back. You're welcome.
So yeah, that's my one. That's what I'm into. People play basketball as well, but I haven't really played that before. I've been getting into Formula One recently, which is
a lot of my friends have been getting into Formula One recently. It's also been growing. I think it's because of the Netflix show. I think it's because of the Drive to Survive thing on Netflix that's really been gaining in popularity. But yeah, I don't know. I've watched a few races, but I don't know. I'm not super into it because I haven't really watched. I watched a bit of the show, but I couldn't. I'm very bad for watching television shows. I can't get into them.
I wouldn't be.
But yeah, no, interesting.
Yeah, it's because I've tried with, because obviously I want to watch as many sports as I can. Why would you say no to more entertainment?
Yeah.
But I just struggle, I think, with like sort of American sports because they're just, and I guess Canadian, they're just done in such a different way than England. Like do you watch basketball?
I don't know. I mean, there was a period, I guess, like when the Toronto Raptors were the only Canadian team in the NBA, and they were doing really well, and they won the league championship like a couple years ago. And so I watched them during the playoffs, but I really don't watch a whole lot of basketball. It is a big sport here, though. It is definitely a big sport. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of the ads. There's a lot of ads, and it's just hard. But what I did want to say, mainly though speaking, so football, you have zero interest. Football.
Not really a whole lot of interest. I have been watching the Canadian men's national team because they have just qualified for the World Cup. So I'm excited for the World Cup because I was watching them in the qualifiers. They won. They were at the top of the leaderboard for the North American and Central American, I guess, division of qualifying for the World Cup. So they've been doing really well recently. Folks like Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies, the young folk, doing well.
Okay.
Yeah. Some knowledge there, yeah. And the women's national team here is also, they just won the gold in the Olympics, and they keep winning a lot. So I've watched, like, whenever they're in like a national stage or international stage, I'll watch them. But other than that, I really don't watch a whole lot of football. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't worry, you're forgiven.
Yeah.
I mean, hockey, and I feel bad because I know that hockey is sort of your baby, but I think baseball is closer to what I feel like I could get into. And I was trying to look for a team I could sort of get behind. Have you got any suggestions for me?
I'm a big, again, the Toronto Blue Jays are the only Canadian team in Major League Baseball. And so I'm a big Blue Jays fan. So I like watching the Toronto Blue Jays. I just love, like, I think that watching a full baseball game, especially if you don't like and appreciate baseball, is just like, it's so draining. Like, it's so hard because it's so long and so slow. But like, I play baseball and I've played it my whole life, so like I can appreciate, I guess, the little things. Yeah. And this is not, to me, I'm trying not to be a pompous asshole about like about baseball right now. But like, I don't know, I really like it's almost like, I guess, if you were like, you play soccer, you play football. And so, like, when you watch a footy player do something great, like, you can appreciate that they can do that thing. You're like, wow, because you've been on a football pitch,
yeah, I know,
and
exactly
you know your limits, right? You know your limits. But it's like, so when you see someone do something amazing, like, it's like, wow, you can really appreciate it. Whereas, like, when I see, like, and I guess the same, like, when I see LeBron James dunk a basketball, I'm like, okay, he can dunk. You know, like, I don't play basketball. Like, I guess I appreciate it a little bit, but, like, you know, he's also like 6'9" and very athletic. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just
I
like,
100%.
I don't know, like, but like when with baseball, it's like I have a connection to it because I know, like, how hard I can throw a ball, and like to see that there are people who can throw it 20 miles, like, so much faster than I can, and like the things that they can do with a baseball, and the way, like, how far people can hit a baseball. I don't know, like, it's easier to appreciate that way. But what I would recommend, Harrison, is that tonight, the NHL playoffs are starting, and playoff hockey is my favorite sporting thing ever. They start tonight, and they go for 2 months, and the stadiums are always jam-packed, and it's just the most exciting time ever, and I've been like teaming all day because I just love I love playoff hockey. It's just so good, and like so I can even send you some highlights of like what you should watch if you've never watched hockey, because hockey is and hockey's also the best sport to watch live, and it's not even close. Hockey's so much fun to watch live.
Well, like,
I will say that.
How long are the matches? Is that the right word? Matches?
Yeah, well, I guess game works. 60 minutes, but split up into 3 20-minute periods.
Okay.
And then at the end, if you're tied, you go to in the playoffs, you go to overtime, where it's just next goal wins, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely is a type of sport I'd like. If I went to, wherever they play hockey, it's the type of thing I'd want to see. Same with baseball, to be honest, even though you said it's a little bit more slow.
Yeah, it is a little bit more slow, but it's a nice pace. Like, I don't know, I really like going to watch baseball games as well. Not that we don't really have any professional sports near where I am anyway. That's a big thing about Canada as well, is that like if you don't live like in a town, like you have to drive so far. Like when I drove across, I live as far east as you can go in Canada. Like, and when my girlfriend and I, we moved across the country to British Columbia, on the other side of the country, like that drive, we drove across the country and it took us 11 days. Like, it's a very large country. Like, it's ridiculous.
When you told me you was like as far east as it comes, I was so confused. Like, because in my head, far east, I was thinking like Qatar, like Dubai.
Yeah, no, sorry, I meant as far east as Canada goes. So like, yeah, just an island in the Atlantic. Is all. Yeah.
But no, I like that. But here's what, like, what's so confusing about it is because I always have to imagine, like, you loved playing hockey. You was, like, probably, or like baseball, I heard you was, like, half decent at both of them. Like, surely, like, every child who likes a sport, half decent at a sport, they would like to play that sport professionally, Like, you would, so...
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, so when you said you went to college to do, like... psychology, and how you was gonna go into like I just find it, and then you ended up doing like comedy sketches, and because if you were doing a comedy sketches, I would have thought as a young one, then your aspirations would have been like to be a comedian or something. So I guess just fill me in a little. How would this connect?
Yeah, I guess I had always, like, I guess, made, like, videos and stuff, like, when I was growing up. Like, I wasn't, like, super big into that. I guess, like, when I was, like... I was much more of a sporty kid than, like, a theater kid. Like, I didn't do, like, any theater or, like, anything like that, like, acting or anything like that when I was a kid or a teenager. I was into it. Like, when I went to high school, like, I took a drama class and, like, was excited by that. Like, I really enjoyed the idea of, like, getting to act and be silly. But I don't know, I guess I was always like a silly person growing up as well. Like, I hit puberty later than everybody, so like I kind of used being funny as like a crutch, I guess. Yeah. So I wouldn't hate myself, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I don't know. I guess like I did a lot of sports growing up, and that was kind of the thing. But I guess it's the same as any sport anywhere else in the world. Like when you're 14 or 15, you know if you're gonna have a chance at being a professional or not. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. Like, if you're 15 years old and you're not the best of where you're from, like, you don't have a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my dad actually was a good example, because my dad played professional hockey for, like, a long time, for, like, 10 years. And so when he was always, like, the best of where he was from, and then he left the province to go play, like, more, like, competitive hockey when he was, like, 16 years old. And he was like drafted to the National Hockey League, and like, I don't know, he just played a lot of professional hockey for 10 years. And so like he was a good, like, kind of, I guess, benchmark for like, if I'm not as good as he was, and I never was, you know what I mean? Like, then I knew that like I wasn't ever going to be a professional hockey player. And so that dream was kind of out the window. I still love playing hockey and love playing baseball, but like, you know, just around town and around the, like, interprovincially, and, you know, just that sort of thing. But whereas, like, with the comedy thing, I don't know, I always had, like, an interest in it. And then I guess after high school, I really started getting into, like, YouTube. I was never a big YouTube fan, even in, like, high school. Like, I'd watch YouTube videos, but I was never, like, a huge fan. And so when I started watching more and becoming more of a fan of like more channels, then I was like, oh, this is like a thing that people do. Like this is a thing that people can do for like a living. And so I don't know, I kind of started making like just different video game content things, like just randomly, and just started practicing and trying to get better at like editing and being on screen and on camera. And did that for a while and sucked a lot. And then eventually I like kind of found the whole comedy sketch thing, and that was going to be a lot of fun. And so when I started doing that, I kind of ran with that. And then, yeah, now we're here. I mean, it was really just like, I don't know, I won't say it was an accident. Like you can kind of like, I guess you can see like little predictors along the way of my life that I probably would have ended up making, I don't know, some silly things. But it was never like, oh, he's for sure going to do this when he grows up. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just kind of, I guess it was like kind of accidental, but also like, I don't know, part of it was definitely predictable. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of completely just... No, just like counter.
I gave you like the vaguest sort of question, and like so yeah, it needed a big answer.
Don't worry, I gave an even more vague answer, so it's all good. I'm at fault there.
Because most people, I think I watch you do like a sort of, I guess, similar thing. I think like they want to kind of go into like doing like stand up or like screenwriting or like or is for you. Like, is where you're at now where you want to be, or is this like not a stepping stone, but sort of like a something you can see funneling you into something else?
That's a good question, because it's like, I don't know, I've actually been asked that by a lot of friends as well. Like, I think that for the most part, like, I don't see myself in like 10 years being a YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think I like right now that like it's a very what I like about it and want to keep is the freedom that I have, and like that I'm able to make as much as I want, and I guess I'm able to make whatever I want whenever I want, and like I don't have anyone saying you can't do this or you can do this or this is what you have to do. Like these are the walls you have to play inside. Like I really like the freedom, but I don't know. I don't think that it's something that I will do in like 10 years time, maybe even in 5 years time, maybe even in 2 years time. Like I really don't know. Like it's all going to depend, I guess, on how. I guess how it's able to support me as well, because I mean, even though I do have a decently sized audience, like I'm definitely not at a point where this is like I'm like minted or anything. Like I'm just, I'm doing okay, but like I'm not like crushing it, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, it's a weird kind of crossroads. Like, well, this could go like really well for me in the next couple of years, or it could also like kind of just take a big shit and just suck, you know what I mean? Like it just, yeah, it's a very like, I guess, vulnerable period where it's like, I don't know, this could go really well or it could go really poorly. Like, I don't know. And I think I've decided, and I guess part of this whole like career thing is like deciding that this is what you want to do, and that like I don't have a backup plan. Like I know for a fact that this is what I want to do for a living, like some form of comedy writing or whatever. And so wherever that lives in the next like 5 to 10 years, I don't know, but I just know that I want to be in the same sort of field or genre, I guess.
Yeah, I think from listening to a couple like stuff you was in, I think I'm gonna try and use words I definitely know the meaning of here, but you have a sort of certain humility, which I think sort of it will translate well into sort of the longevity of what you're doing, because you say like, for example, you're not like crushing it and stuff, but I think considering YouTube isn't really the type of platform to do the type of stuff you're doing anymore. Like usually everyone who's doing like comedy stuff and it's short form stuff, that's straight onto TikTok and stuff like that. So to post like a 2-minute video or like a 3-minute video on YouTube, like, and for it to do well, I think is like very hard. And when you look at other people also doing that, there probably is a bunch that I just don't watch or know of, but there's not many that I know. Like I watch a guy called Jack's Films who posts sort of short sort of comedy stuff. And
I'm familiar with him, yeah. Yeah,
but he's been doing it since like 2010, maybe earlier, so it's like been a long time thing. So I think considering how like the type of content you're putting onto a platform that maybe wants longer form content, like you can't monetize well unless your video is above 10 minutes, that type of stuff. I think it's going pretty good, man, you know?
Thanks, man. No, that's a very kind of you to say, man. That's really nice, because like I know like it is really weird. Like when I started, I guess like in like 2018, 19, 20. Like even then, like shorter form stuff was like, I guess, easier to not necessarily monetize, but easier. Like you could see more of that stuff doing well on the platform. And I have a hard time, I guess. I don't like to like just shit on but again, the platform is changing a lot, you know what I mean? Like, and YouTube Shorts are becoming a thing, and I'm not a big fan of YouTube Shorts. I don't like that YouTube and TikTok are kind of like becoming each other. Like, it's a really weird. And like you mentioned TikTok as well. Like I've tested out TikTok, and I technically have more of a following on TikTok than I do on YouTube. Like I don't like associate as much with that because I don't even like. I've never really tried. I've just kind of like reposted videos that I made for YouTube.
Yeah.
I just like edited them to be vertical videos and put them on TikTok, and then like people came and watched them. Like I was never, I don't know, I don't really have a strategy, and I think that I agree with your assessment of like what I'm doing isn't necessarily a YouTube. Like YouTube isn't the place for those kind of things to live. I think I agree with that very much because it's like, you know, I don't like the idea of like having like a content strat. Like I just kind of want to make something funny, and then like just YouTube is the place where it's going to live. So you are definitely right in the fact that I need to find another
I mean, I'm
another
definitely not
home
giving
for
you
them.
advice.
No, but I know what you mean. Like I've definitely like considered that as well, and like obviously it's going okay, but like it's it's an interesting problem to have, I guess. And I've also looked at doing, and I have done as well on the channel some longer form things as well, and I've looked at doing more of that, just to kind of juxtapose the shorter stuff as well. But yeah, no, it'll be an interesting next couple of years to see where it goes. But yeah, no, that was very nice of you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this says I've only got about 5 minutes to this end, and I've only got a few more questions, so I'll try.
No, it's all good. I should probably I have to take off. I have to pick up my mother from work soon as well.
Yeah.
The classic living at home with mom and dad, but I'm okay with it. Yeah.
So I'll kind of bundle these into like sort of something I just want to say real quick as well. Do you feel like a sort of nervousness to be funny? Like if you meet someone and they know what you do you feel like you have to be funny because they know that your job is to kind of be funny?
That's an interesting observation. I appreciate you bringing that up because like, yeah, I don't know, like with friends that like I already know and like knew before I started doing it, like it's obviously not an issue, but like, I don't know, if I meet someone, and I also like, but at the same time, I never feel like people are assuming that I have to be on all the time or that like I'm the same person that they see on I guess on their screen or whatever. But I think I definitely like feel, I guess, a pressure to be funnier than I am usual. But it's really weird because like I guess in everyday life I'm not a very loud or person. You know what I mean? Like yeah. I remember I was in university and like I remember I posted something and someone saw it and it was the New York City cab driver counting to 100 in French video, and it was very, I don't know, someone who sat next to me in class saw that video and was like, is this you? And then like, cause I don't know, I'm very like reserved, I guess, when I was in class. Not that I'm like a super quiet, like introverted person, I'm not. Yeah. But like, I guess in class, I'm not like trying to make everyone laugh all the time. Like I'm just there to take it in and that's whatever. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess the pressure has increased a bit over the last couple of years, but like, I don't know, I'm still just me out and around. So it's not like, it's not too much of a worry. Because most people I think are good folks and no one's ever like, why aren't you funny right now? Be funny, like perform for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But no, I do know where you're coming from.
Okay. Well, thank you for, I'm going to end this with a unrelated weird, it's not weird at all, what am I saying? Question, which is kind of, basically I wanted to sort of make a sort of creative piece type thing. I was watching some podcast and he had this thing where each guest would ask a question which he would then ask the next guest. I wanted to make something like that. So,
okay.
My idea was I wanted to create like a podcast shirt where I would add patches onto it depending on this next question, which would be, if you had to get a tattoo of anything on your body, And you don't have to pick the most serious answer because I would want to, like, if it was like, oh, like my great grandmother's initials or something, it'd be kind of weird if I was putting that on like a jumper or something.
Yeah.
But if you had to get a tattoo of anything, what would you get? And then hopefully after I've done this a few times, I can put all of those onto like a shirt type thing.
It would be a tattoo of a salmon wearing a top hat.
Oh, beautiful answer. I love that.
Yes. And so a salmon wearing a top hat and twirling a cane.
Oh, it's getting intricate now.
Yeah. Yep. No worries. I've made sure to make it hard for you.
And I, you know what, and I wouldn't expect anything less than that. You know, I appreciate that massively.
Harrison, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, Matthew. I appreciate, like I said, it's been a long time since trying to get someone on, so I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Of course, dude.
Yeah. Hopefully, channel goes well. And
my pleasure.
Yeah. Hopefully it all goes well.
And best of luck to you too, man. This was nice. I enjoyed talking to you, man. This is nice. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just looking at the timer countdown from 5.
No, take care. And it left. That's okay. Harrison. Thanks, man. You're a good guy. You're a cool cat. Don't tip over your boat. You'll drown.
There's the research showing yogurt makes me anything